This is a product video for Inozetek's Super Gloss Blackout film, and here are the details. Product number SG001, film type PVC composite, roll size 60 inch by 65 feet, thickness 3.7 mil, color black, adhesive low tack solvent, warranty zone 1, 6 years vertical, 2 years horizontal, and the uses are vehicles and chrome deletes. On the outside of the box is a sample swatch of the gloss black, as well as product information like roll size and lot number. The box easily separates, and the roll is stored in a plastic bag for protection. A good tip is to place the roll on a dedicated dispenser to ensure quality. For the prep phase of the install process, the first step is to safely remove any hardware on the vehicle. Next, take measurements of each section on the vehicle and note that Super Gloss Blackout film is non-directional. The film has a PET liner, which can create an electrostatic charge when rolled out. So a good tip is to borrow this cord from the laminator, which reduces the electrostatic charge. So when rolling the film out, no dust will get on the liner. Also, be sure to measure and cut precisely to ensure that no material is wasted. For storing the panels during install, there are two options. One is to lay them flat on a cutting table. Another option is to roll them up very widely, so the PET liner doesn't separate from the wrap film. This is critical to ensure quality for the install. For cleaning the vehicle, the first step is to remove the dirt with a general cleaner. This can be a mix of soap and water or straight white vinegar. Be sure to open doors, hoods, trunks, and gas caps in order to get deep dirt. And the next step is to clay bar the surface in order to ensure that it's super smooth. After this, remove the soapy residue and then wipe down the surface with a degreaser that won't leave a residue behind. Using 70% isopropyl alcohol is one good option. Always focus on the edges first, then wipe down the main surface area. Now we move on to install, and the first step is to go over the panel with the tack cloth. Lay the panel out and remove the excess film with the liner on. A good tip is to again use the special cord from the laminator to neutralize the electrostatic charge. Pull the liner under the film to reduce the chance of dust getting on the adhesive, and then store the PET liner flat in a safe location and be sure to recycle it at the end of the install. Now create a permanent hinge with a squeegee stroke, in this case in the middle of the hood. The blackout film can easily be picked back up because the adhesive is repositionable. For recessed areas, like on the hood, pick the film up and feed it in when possible. This will help neutralize any tension, and for the sides, make relief cuts when necessary to relax the film to the edge. Scratches may appear on the surface, but this is okay because the Super Gloss Blackout film has a cap sheet. This can be removed once the material lays flat on the section being applied, and always be sure to recycle the cap sheet. With the cap sheet removed, be sure to use a wet buffer and a glide solution to avoid scratching the gloss finish. The banana buffer from monkey strips is a good option. With the film on the surface, the first step is to cut the corners, then the flat side second. Pick the film back up from the corner and relax it with heat so it conforms nicely. Once in place, cut the corner flush just under the edge using a sharp blade. A 30-degree angle works best. Always neutralize the corner by 1 inch on either side. Once one corner is cut, then move on to the next one. Repeat the exact same steps to get a perfect corner. Then the material on the side can be cut. Run a finger to set the film up. Cut the film on the opposite side to ensure that 1/4 or 1 centimeter material wraps around the edge. Remove the excess film. Run a finger to round the film. Hit it with heat so it shrinks around the edge, then squeegee it underneath. Once everything is cut out, go over the main surface with heat to check for bubbles and activate the adhesive. For large sections, like on the side of this Porsche, keep in mind that the blackout film is non-directional. This means that if the installers cut the film out in a smart way, the excess film can be flipped over to the other side, which can cover the other back fender. This helps ensure that there's enough film left over at the end of the job to cover the entire car. Now we move on to compound curve logic, which is key to get right with the Super Gloss Blackout film. If the film is bridging a large section, keep it as loose as possible. Put on an application glove, heat the film, then use the palm technique to form the film onto the surface in one shot. This will significantly help avoid adhesive lines. For large compound curves, like at the back of this fender, be sure to work together as a team and create 100% glass using a combination of pulling and moderate heat. To help spread the film out evenly on the curves, use the triangle technique. This can mean working in stages and having good communication. Once the film is set, it can then be squeegeed onto the surface. For severe compound curves, like on this spoiler, the pre-stretch technique can be used. Once the film is stretched, it can then be formed onto the spoiler, and once it's in place, it can be heated again to shrink it in the right position. This can make wrapping spoilers, mirrors, and door handles much easier. Due to the nature of the adhesive on Inozetek Super Gloss Blackout film, a good tip is on tight edges is to let it set up for about 30 minutes before cutting the excess film away. This gives the adhesive time to set up firmly on the surface and hold position when the excess film is removed. Now we get to complicated objects on vehicles like this front bumper. For extreme deep recessed areas, like on this lower portion of the front bumper, it's critical to apply a series of well-placed inlay or overlay pieces. The key is to use 3M knifeless tape and cut off the excess film along the body lines so the overlaps disappear. Once this critical deep recessed area has been wrapped stress-free, the main area can then be applied. This is when really understanding that the blackout film is a hybrid between cast and calendar film. Calendar film will naturally shrink on its own, so by heating and stretching at the same time and using two installers, the blackout film will actually wrap to the surface by itself. If done correctly, there will be no need to squeegee until the very end once the film has been fully glassed out. Once the film is on the main surface area, pick the edges back up and then trigger the memory effect. This will help it conform even more and leave a stress-free finish on all the edges, which helps ensure long-term durability. With the install complete, it's very important to do a 360-degree checkover on the entire vehicle with a heat gun to look for bubbles and loose edges. Then be sure to post-heat certain areas of the wrap at a temperature between 175 and 180 degrees Fahrenheit. This can be done with a heat gun, IR heater, or a pod steamer, and an IR thermometer. Be sure to focus on all curves, recessed areas, and edges. The final step is, once the hardware has been reinstalled, to apply a coat of Inozetek Wrap Care to help maintain and protect the high gloss finish. Always be sure to use a soft, highly absorbent microfiber towel, and once it's been applied, go over it to buff it for a perfect shine. For more information on Inozetek Super Gloss Blackout Wrapping Film, you can go to inozetek.com, and you can also follow them on Instagram and Facebook. This has been a product video for Inozetek's Super Gloss Blackout Film, proudly produced by the Rep Institute.